वाजिनीवती दीनाम् अवीत्र्यवतु ॐ चोदयेत्रे सूनृतानां चेतन्ति सुमतीनां यज्ञं दधे सरस्वती।
Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the basic properties of the numbers and especially that of the prime numbers and how they are distributed. Already you have learned something about the number system at 8 or 9 class, but what is the advanced part, how it can be extended. And now these topics I have taken from the books, references first of all. Number 1, an introduction to the theory of numbers by Niven and Zuckerman. Number 2, elementary number theory by David Bertrand. And Bertrand. Now, what are the basic required to understand the properties of the numbers? So, basic requisite is you should have first of all some knowledge of GCD, as you are learned in 8 or 9 class. What is the greatest common divisors of the two numbers? The second one is what are the properties of divisibility. Again, already you are aware when a certain number divides. Number 3, we have some knowledge of division algorithm. And number 4 is slightly knowledge of congruences. It might be a new concept for you. Congruences and properties. So quickly, I will go through the last one. What do you mean by congruences and what are the properties required for the today's lecture? So if you take 3 integers a, b and z, you are aware of the integers minus 1, 2, 3, 0 and so on, of which n is positive, and if n, this is a symbol for divides, the difference a minus b, if n divides the difference a minus b, then we say that a is, and this is the symbol for congruent, pronounced as congruent to. A is congruent to b, and then we write the word modulo. For example, if you write 5 is congruent to 2 modulo 3, just verify the difference of 5 and 2 is 3, and the difference is also divisible by 3. That is the meaning of congruences. Now, what are the properties? Now, if you take the congruences properties, first one, if A is congruent to B modulo n, then B is also congruent to A modulo n. For example, if you alter this number, in place of 5 you write 2, in place of 2 you write 5, and if you subtract the difference will come out to be minus 3, and that minus 3 is also divisible by 3. Your answer will be, earlier case the answer is plus 1, in the second case the answer is minus 1. You are not interested in the answer what the answer is, you are interested whether the difference is divisible. So these two numbers can be interchanged. A is congruent to B is the same as B is congruent to A. Second property we need, if A is congruent B modulo n, B is congruent to C modulo n, then A is congruent to C modulo n. The third one, every number is congruent to the number itself. Because if you take the difference 0, 0 is divisible by any non-zero number. We cannot divide by 0, but we can divide to 0. Because if you take the difference a minus a, which is divisible and n is positive, which is a non-zero number. The last one, we call it as reflexive property. The first one is a symmetry property. And the third one, we call it as a transitive property. The fourth one, if A is congruent, B modulo n, C is congruent to D modulo n, then we can multiply. Like we multiply the number, like that we also multiply. The congruence says left side is multiplied to the left and right is multiplied to the right. So AC will be congruent to BC modulo n, and for today's part we need one more. If A is congruent to B modulo n, then A power k will be congruent to B power k modulo n. Otherwise, like that, there are various properties, but for today's discussion we need only these 5. And therefore, to start with this discussion, our today's topic is primes and their distributions. So today's topic is primes and their distributions. Okay. An integer p greater than 1 is called a prime if its only positive divisors are 1 and p. There might be negative divisors, minus 1, minus p. So integers greater than p is called a prime if its only positive divisors are 1 and p. No other number divides that number. So going through the definitions, so if I write the numbers, integers, only positives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. So let us analyze the definition. The first observation is, can 1 be a prime? That is the question. We said an integer. Can 1 be a prime? Why? Definition itself. So by definition, 1 is not a prime. 1 is not a prime. So if 1 is not a prime, what is the next prime? Observe this number. What is the next prime? 2. Right? What is the next then? 3. 4? No, because it's a composite number. What is the next? 5. Next? 7. So out of this, 2, 3, 5 and so on, 2 is the only prime which is even. Rest of the prime numbers are odd prime. That is the speciality of this number 2. So second observation is, 2 is the only prime which is even. 2 is the only prime which is even, and rest of the primes are odd. Rest of the primes are odd. Rest of the primes are odd numbers. Again, observe the same trend. What is the speciality they have? Let us say 3 is a prime, 5 is a prime, 7 is a prime. What is the next prime number? 11. If you write 10, 11, then next prime number is 13. Okay? So if you observe the first 3 and 5, what is the difference? What is the difference? 2. 5 and 7, 2. Whereas 7 and 11, because this is a sequence of prime, what is the difference? 4. And what about this difference? 2. So any two consecutive primes where the difference is 2, that primes are called the twin primes. So, next we define what do you mean by twin primes. P and Q are said to be twin primes if Q minus P is equal to 2. In other words, if P is a prime, that is if P is a prime, and if P plus 2 is also a prime, then the pair of primes P plus 2 is called a pair of twin primes. And today we are going to again see what is the speciality of these primes and what is the speciality of this number primes 3, 5 and 7 and so on. And every prime has their own speciality and has an applications in the number theory, most probably in the cryptography. Now in this case, the first observation is if P and Q are twin primes, then if you take the product and plus 1 is always a perfect square. You know what do you mean by perfect square? If P and Q are the twin points, for example, if you want to prove it, P, Q are twin primes, it's a very basic proof, and therefore Q should be P plus 2. Because the twin primes, just they differ by 2 consecutive primes. So second prime you can write as P plus 2, and then you take the product PQ plus 1, which is P plus 2, and then write plus 1, just open the brackets, will be P square plus 2P plus 1, alright, and this is nothing but what? 8 standard, A plus B bracket square, A square plus 2AB plus B square, and so this is nothing but P plus 1 the bracket square, which is a perfect square. So product of twin prime plus 1 is always a perfect square. Second property of the twin primes is, and again the speciality primes. So if you take the second one, if I take P and Q as twin primes, take P and Q as twin primes. We'll draw the conclusions later on. And if you take the product PQ minus 2, take the product of PQ minus 2. For example, you write P here, we write Q here, and then we write PQ minus 2. Okay. So to have the twin primes, we cannot take the first prime as 2 because the difference should be 2. If you write the 2 and the next 2 plus 2 becomes 4, 4 is not a prime. So to start with, the first will be 3 and then Q will be 5, and if you take the product 15 minus 2, 13, the next prime you write, what is the next prime? 5, then next, because you are talking about the twin primes, 7, you are talking about the twin primes. So 5 7 is 35, 35 minus 2, what is this? 33. So except the first, 13 is a prime number. So the basic question is, because there may be many more twin primes. So theoretically, can you prove that if P and Q are the twin primes, then for PQ minus 2 to be prime, P equal to 3 is the only prime that you wanted to prove. P equal to 3. There is no other prime for which that number is also prime. And the proof is based on the theory of congruences or theory of divisibility. For example, we can say P and Q be the twin primes, and therefore if P equal to 3, then Q is equal to 5, and therefore P PQ minus 2, 15 minus 2 is with 13, which is prime. Okay. But how to prove for the bigger number? There might be some many, because the list is infinite in that case. Infinite list is there. Maybe some other number at dispersed. How to prove? So let us take a prime which is greater than 3. Let us take a prime which is greater than 3, maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe 11 and so on. And in number theory, any number we write in the form of desires. For example, again the division algorithms will play the important role. I said what are the requisite division algorithm. If you take a number which is greater than 3, and if that number is divided by 3, general observation, what could be the remainder possible? If the number is not divisible by 3, what could be the remainder? For example, let us take 4 divided by 3, remainder will be 1. If I take 5 divided by 3, remainder will be 2 and so on. So, if we take a prime which is greater than 3, that P may be of the form 3k plus 1 or 3k plus 2, and where k is an integer. For example, you take 11. Can you put 11 prime in this form? Because 11 also prime. Because I said P is greater than 3 is a prime. So, any prime we can put in the form 3k plus 1, 3k plus 2. For example, 11. Select k as 3. Select k as 3. 3 into 3. 9 plus 2, 11. If you take 17, 3 into 5, 15, 15 plus 2 is also 11. Okay? Or we write in this form P minus 1, which is the same as 3k, and P minus 2, which is also the same as 3k. And if we come back to the congruences, we mean 3 divides P minus k. That difference, because 3 is a factor. Because right hand side is divisible by 3, left hand side is also divisible by 3, and therefore we say 3 divides P minus 1. And if n divides A minus B, A is said to be congruent to B. So, I will write P is congruent to 1 modulo 3. P is congruent to 1 modulo 3, and here we write in this case P is congruent to 2 modulo 3. Same here, the difference is divisible, and now you can take the product. We require PQ, then minus 2. So, if you multiply by P plus 2 for these congruences, can you guess what could be the next? Just divisibility observations. Here we want to show that P greater than 3 is not possible. We have to show that P greater than 3 is not possible if you select these numbers of this type. So, there, if you write that, use the ordinary mathematics of multiplication and division and so on, it will be too difficult, but with the help of congruences we can reduce so. We can reduce so. So, we will take the product PQ minus 2. Therefore, P congruent 1 modulo 3. Therefore, P square is also congruent 1 modulo 3. Why I have written P square? Because when you take the product of this P and Q, Q is the same as P plus 2. Q is the same as P plus 2, and then we will have P plus 2, we will get P square plus 2P. So, again P square will be congruent to 1 modulo 3. Then what about 2P plus 1? 2P plus 2 and so on. Can you guess? If not, I will give the way. Instead of PQ, let us see. P is congruent to 1 modulo 3. Okay? We want Q. If I add 2 on the both sides, and what is this number? 3, which is the same as 3 modulo 3. But 3 is always congruent to 0 modulo 3. I have understood this part. What do you mean by congruences? A is congruent to B, that means the difference is divisible. If I take the difference of these two, that difference is also divisible. And what the property says, transitive properties, A is congruent to B, B is congruent to C, A is congruent to B, B is congruent to C, implies A is congruent to C. So, P plus 2 is congruent to 3, 3 is congruent to 0 is the same as P plus 2 will be congruent to 0 modulo 3. Now it is clear instead of going from P square, alright. We mean that 3 divides P plus 2. 3 divides the difference P plus 2, which is not possible because we have selected Q as the twin prime. And therefore, I may say here, therefore, or we can say 3 divides Q, which is not correct because the prime number is divisible by 1 and the number itself, which is not possible. So, we cannot select this part. Similarly, if you take P is of the form 3k plus 2, we can arrive at the conclusion that this conclusion is not possible. That means selection of any prime which is greater than 3, for which PQ minus 2 also prime is not correct. We cannot select the prime greater than 3. So, what is the possibility left? What is the possibility left? P equal to 3 only. And therefore, the first speciality of that prime 3 is P equal to 3 is the only prime for which PQ minus 2 is also prime, where P and Q are twin primes. What is the second speciality of that prime numbers? Prime number 3. Another example of that prime number 3. Now let us take the other one. Let us take a prime greater than or equal 5. Or let me take first of all P equal to 3. P equal to 3. Then we will draw the conclusion. Calculate P square plus 2. This is a prime. This is a prime? Yes. P square plus 2, 9 plus 2 equal 11. That is also a prime. That is also a prime. Okay. But if I take, suppose P is equal to 5, then what will be P square plus 2? What will be P square plus 2? 5 square is 25 plus 2, which is prime or composite? Composite number. This is a composite number. So, can you have some other primes? If I take select P equal to 7, what happens to the P plus P square plus 2 and so on? So, the general observation is, if P is prime, which is 5 or more, so the next is, if P is greater than or equal to 5, P square plus 2 is always composite. If, therefore, if P is greater than or equal to 5, then P square plus 2 is always composite. I use the word always. Here I shown you just one example. So, what is the guarantee that next will not fulfill the conditions? So, generally, if you prove it. So, you can again select the primes as, take a prime P in the form 6k plus 1. Again, you will ask me why it is 6k plus 1. And P is of the form 6k plus 5. You have understood why I selected this one? See, greater than or equal. What is the next number greater? 6. So, any number when divided by 6, what are the remainders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I take remainder as 1, 6k plus 2, this cannot be the prime because 2 is common. 6k plus 3 cannot be the prime because 3 is common. 6k plus 4 cannot be the prime because 2 is common. But 6k plus 1, yes, it can be. And 6k plus 5, yes, it also can be. So, take any prime which is greater than or equal to 5 and write in this form. Then we find out what is P square plus 2, which is the same as 6k plus 1 bracket square plus 2. And it is simply based on what is A plus B bracket square 8 class. 36k square plus 12k plus 1 plus 2, which is 36k square plus 12k plus 3, and if you take 3 common, you can take 3 common from that. And 3 being a factor, What about this number? This number is composite. Similarly, if you write for 6k plus 5 and plus you write plus to calculate, again we will observe that 3 is a factor. So, p square plus 2 is also composite. So, if we select any prime which is greater than or equal 5, even for 5 it is 27 as you observe here, it is a composite number. And therefore, what is the only prime for which p square plus 2 is prime? Second speciality of that prime number 3. Second speciality. See, 2 you cannot take, because what will happen if you take p is equal to 2? 2 square will be 4, 4 plus 2 will be 6, which is a composite number. But p is equal to 3, it is a prime number. And when it is greater than, turn out to be the composite number. And therefore, p is equal to 3 is the only prime for which p square plus 2 is composite. First conclusion, what was p is equal to 3 is the only prime for which pq minus 2 is, that we have seen the first one, pq minus. And again second speciality, if p is prime, p is equal to 3 is the only prime for which p square plus 2 is composite. And therefore, if I give you the question, if p and p square plus 2, the first question is, if p and p square plus 2 are primes, show that pq plus 4 is also prime. Pq plus 4 is also prime. That's a very, can you suggest the solutions? If p and p square plus 2 are primes, first problem, p cube plus 4 is also prime. Why? Simple answer. See, if you take the first two statement, if you relate with the earlier one, what is that? I made a mistake here. Prime for which p square plus 2 is prime. Sorry, make the corrections here. Make the correction. So, if you take the first two, if p and p square plus 2 are primes, then using the first problem, p is equal to 3. And if p is equal to 3, p cube is 27 and 27 plus 4, 31. 31 is also a prime. 31 is also a prime. The other one, if p and p square, second question, if p and p square plus 8 are primes, exactly on the same line, then p cube plus 4 is also prime. Again, we will find that 3 is the only answer of that prime. 3 is the only answers of that prime. So, second speciality of that prime number 3. Another one, consider p as a prime. Next example, if you take p as a prime and you find out what is p square plus 2 raised to p. P square plus 2 raised to p. Now, question is, for what prime p square plus 2 raised to p is prime? That is my question. Or find all the primes. The questions could be, find all the primes for which p square plus 2 raised to p is also prime. So, if we start with the primes, suppose if I take first prime as p equal to 2, what is 2 p square plus 2p? P square will be 4 plus 4, which is 8. Prime or composite? Composite number. So, this number is composite. So, this is not possible. This is not possible. If you take p is equal to 3, what happens? P square plus 2p. So, this is 9 plus 2 raised to 3 will be 8. What about? What is that? Prime number. What about this prime? If I take the next prime, 5. So, what about p square plus 2 raised to p. So p square will be 25. Okay. 2 raised to 5 will be 32. 25 plus 32, which is 57. Composite or prime? Composite. 19 3s are 57. This is a composite number and so on. So how long we should go? Is there any end to that part to check? So in general, we take a prime which is greater than 3. Suppose if I take a prime, let us check, greater than 3. And if p is greater than 3, then p will be congruent to plus minus 1 modulo 3. I will tell you how it is. Just now we have said p is of the form 3k plus 1. So p minus 1 divisible. Here we have taken p is equal to 3k plus 2. Then you have said p minus 2 is also divisible by 3. And but here this 2 we can write congruent to minus 1 modulo 3. See how it is modified. This you are aware of that part. And this 2 I replace by congruent part which is minus 1. Because if I take the difference 2 minus of minus 1, that become plus 3 which is divisible. That congruence is valid. And therefore p square will be congruent to 1 modulo 3. Here squaring both sides. Square of plus minus 1 is the same as plus 1. You call it as statement number 1. Now the prime selected is p greater than 3. And what is the earlier observation? 2 is the only prime which is even and rest of the prime is odd. So since p is greater than 3, p is odd. 2 is the only prime which is even, rest of the prime numbers are odd, and therefore let p is of the form 2k plus 1. All odd numbers, even numbers, they are multiples of 2. Odd numbers we can write in the form of 2k plus 1. And therefore if you write 2 raised to p is the same as 2 raised to 2k plus 1. Use laws of indices into 2. Use laws of indices, which is the same as 4 power k into 2. 2 raised to 2 is 4. 2 raised to 2 is 4. Okay, and to the power laws of indices, a to the power m to the power n is the same as a power mn. And but this 4 we write, but 4 is congruent to 1 modulo 3. Agreed? 4 minus 1 is 3. Difference is also divisible by 3. And therefore 4 power k is also congruent to 1 modulo 3. Raise the power 1. 1 power k is the same as 1 itself. Therefore 2 power p, let us say 2 power p, which is written as into 2, but 4 power k is congruent. So here we will introduce the congruent notation, 1 into 2, and then you write modulo 3, all right, and which is the same as 2, which is the same as 2 modulo 3, which is the same as 2 modulo 3. We call this as statement number 2. Using the properties of congruences, add 1 and 2. If I add both the relation, add 1 and 2, what happens? P square plus 2 raised to p will be congruent to 1 plus 2. 3 will write 3 modulo 3, but 3 is congruent to 0 modulo 3. But 3 is congruent to 0 modulo 3, agreed? And therefore p square plus 2 raised to p will be congruent to 0 modulo 3. A is congruent to b, b is congruent to c, we mean a is congruent to c. Is the same as 3 divides p square plus 2p. What do you mean by congruence? Difference is divisible. A is congruent b modulo n. What does it mean? N divides a minus b. So if we take the difference is divisible. And since this number is divisible by 3, the number is composite. and therefore in this case p square plus 2 raised to p is composite. But when p is greater than 3. So you take any prime which is greater than 3, you will observe that p square plus 2p is composite. So what is the prime for which p square plus 2p is prime? Again we will come back to the original questions. You take any prime p which is greater than 3, p square plus 2p is composite, but you have verified for the first prime equal to 3, this was 17, that was also prime. So what is the conclusion again? P equal to 3 is the only prime for which p square plus 2p is prime. See again speciality of that prime p. Okay, and therefore conclusion p square plus 2p prime provided p is equal to 3. See, there are various special properties of that prime. Another property, if I write here, it will be very difficult to cover all these properties. Suppose, what is the prime? What is the prime for which 3p plus 1 is a perfect square? What is the prime? What is the prime for which? So we will come to the next prime. There are various properties of prime 3. Here I illustrated only 2 or 3. Let us come to the next prime. Suppose this is a perfect square. Let us say this equal to x square. Perfect square. We mean 3p equal x squared minus 1. Everyone can factorize this part. What is this factor? X minus 1, x plus 1. Left hand side, product of 2. Right hand side is product of 2. So if you compare x minus 3 is equal to 3, x plus 1 equal to p, or I may take x minus 1 is equal to p and x plus 1 is equal to 3. See, first factor may be equal to 3, therefore second is p. Here the first factor is p, the second should be 3 in this case, and this will imply that x is equal to 4. This will imply x is equal to 4, and therefore you will get here p is equal to 5. If p is equal to 5, and in this case we will get x is equal to 2. This will give you x is 2, and if x is equal to 2, you will get 2 minus 1, which is p. You will get p is equal to 1, but 1 is not a prime number, and therefore this type of selection is not possible. This type of selection is not possible. And therefore, when x is 4, p equal to 5. It means that this is the next prime speciality. P equal to 5 is the only prime for which 3p plus 1 is a perfect square. No other prime which satisfy these conditions. No other prime which satisfy these conditions. If you have the next prime, like that, again there are many properties of that primes. Again, if you take the next one, find all primes p of the type of the form n cube minus 1. Find all primes of the form n cube minus 1. That means you have to find p of the form n cube minus 1. What is p? For n cube minus 1, you have to find the prime p. There are speciality for each of the prime. So if you write n cube minus 1, a cube minus b cube, 9th class, right? Factorization. What is that? N minus 1, n squared plus n plus 1. And if this is to be prime, right hand side should not be factorizable. What do you mean by prime? Which is not factorizable. And therefore, for n cube minus 1 prime, n minus 1 must be equal to 1. See, this factor we cannot take it as 1. See, if left hand side is to be prime, right hand side has to be prime. Right hand side is prime, cannot be factorizable. At least you can write 1 into 2. But you cannot take this as 1 because it is already 1 plus. So definitely this bracket is more than 1. So at the most we can take n minus 1 is 1. And if n minus 1 is equal to 1, what happens? n is equal to 2. And so what is that prime? Which is 2 2 cube minus 1, 8 minus 1, what is that? 7. Again 7 is the only prime of the form n cube minus 1. 7 is the only prime which is of the form n cube minus 1. Like that there are various properties. So can you tell me at least one prime? Power of 2 plus 1. Power of 2 plus 1. Primes which is power of 2 plus 1. I will give you one example. 5 is a prime, power of 2 plus 1. Construct immediately. Okay, I will give the next one. 17. What is the next one? 2 raised to 4 plus 1. So, can you have a primes which are power of 2 plus 1? Yes. How many? Infinite. Again, can you have the primes which are power of 2 minus 1? Can you have a primes which are power of 2 minus 1? Let us take 2 raised to 5 minus 1. 2 raised to 5, 32. 32 minus 1, 31. 31 is prime. Again, how many primes? There are infinite primes. So, with this all this discussion, you have seen what is the primes, what are the few primes, what is twin primes, what are the speciality of the primes 3, what are the prime 5, what is the prime 5. But again the basic question is there a perfect rule to write the nth prime? See, for example, if you want to write the even numbers we can write in the form 2k. Odd number we can write in the form 2k plus 1. So the question is, if Pn denote the nth prime, is there any rule to write Pn? Is there any rule to write Pn? And till today, no one has given the formula. There is no perfect rule. You can go through, a research degree will be awarded. There is no perfect formula to write the nth prime. Okay. Then again observe the primes 2, 3, 5, 7, then 11 and so on. Again the difference between the primes is not uniform. Here 2, somewhere it is 4, somewhere it is okay. So what is that? And if you go further, so the question is, can you construct a primes with large difference? That is again another question, and that is answers by Euclid, and which is known as the graph theorem. There is a large gap. We can construct the two primes where in between there is a large gap. Okay, and then another proof is given by the Euclid that number of primes are infinite. Yes, anyone has any questions? Because I want to talk much more, but because of the time's constraint, I have to stop. Thank you, sir.